My name is Marty Brenner. I have a private practice in Beverly Hills. I'm considered by the media and everybody else as an addiction expert. My specialty actually is anger management, addiction, and domestic violence. I also help people as a life coach because most people who come into my office are totally confused. Most of them will come to me, fortunately, because they want their privacy. And on my experience, they learn more on a one-to-one basis because they don't feel threatened if they have something they've done, what they're afraid of, what they're ashamed of. If they say it in the group setting, they're not going to say anything.
I didn't trust my family. I didn't trust my father, my stepmother. I was pissed off at everybody. I was mad at the world. My dependency on drugs was probably my biggest issue. For me, it was cocaine and alcohol. And I was doing it every day. Like, I couldn't get through a day without using. I just didn't believe in myself.
It's amazing. When I have my clients come in, the first thing they notice is the teddy bear. And when I look at them, they laugh. What am I doing with the teddy bear? And then I realize the little security blanket, they feel comfortable with it. I have this little football here that I have a basketball player that will just throw it. He'll play with it. It gives him a sense of ease. Because what I believe in one thing, that when they come in, they have to be comfortable. Do not let anyone get angry. No one's allowed to raise their voice. I discuss it with them. If they're raising their voice, I lower my voice. And I say, what's going on? How do you feel? What's making you so angry? What happened right now that got you to the point where you're at? Is it that important? And stop blaming everybody else for what's going on. Anger is also an addiction. They come in here for addiction of alcohol, drugs, whatever it is. And I explain to them when they get angry and upset, their adrenaline starts going. And that becomes their addiction. It gives them power, it gives them strength, it gives them everything they don't have in their normal day life.
My anger had gotten to the point of habitual. It was instant without any thought at all.
Right.
And just being aware of that changed things.
The first thing I do is have them sit down and say, breathe. I go through a breathing exercise. It breaks up their thought process. It keeps them in the moment. We could count. That's another technique I used. Anything to break up and get them back down. My main thing, and this is where everyone laughs at me, is I go, clap. Because when you clap, you're in the moment. That's all we have is right now, the moment. And that breaks up everything that they're going through. And then we could discuss what happened, what they're thinking about, their fears of what might happen, which really doesn't happen, where their mindset is at, and then it's completely open for discussion. They're back down to being where they're supposed to. My main thing is trying to work with people who know people who are embarrassed to ask for help, because that's the hardest thing to do. I need help, because then they show they have a lack of power. The biggest problem I see with clients coming into my office when they feel the guilt and shame, and some of them say to me, that little pill has taken over my life. It's not that little pill that took over. It's the lies, the cheating, and the way you acted. That's not you. That was the drugs and your anger. So the guilt and shame that you're living through doesn't have to be the way you live anymore. You can have a different and a healthier lifestyle than you're having right now. You don't have to be like young Hollywood that's miserable. People look at me, because I get dressed up in suits, and they see this little tattoo I have. It's a question mark. I have to remember things happen, and I can't question what's going on, and it's God's will. That's not religion, that's a faith thing. And I had to learn how to change and make that right now. People can change. They just have to realize that what they're doing is not the right thing. The way I've stayed sober and the way I've educated my clients is if you don't have a spiritual connection to something more than yourself, there's a problem. No one has to do this alone. So if you have anybody you know, it could be yourself, it could be your brother, sister, uncle, aunt, nephew that has an issue, call me. And we'll figure out the best way of getting treatment, be it an intervention, be it just coming in and have a consultation. I came in to get sober because my best friend at the time said, I can't see you kill yourself. And I want to help you. If he didn't do that, I wouldn't be where I am right now. My success rate is very high with my clientele when they're open to change.